welcome to this, another edition of us being superheroes, but not superheroes at the same time. We are, well, you could say, heroes of Dragon Ball, and we are up on the lookout. Now, for those of you who don't know, Up on the Lookout is a Dragon Ball podcast with a difference. Here, we like to talk about Dragon Ball in a much more laid-back and analytical way, whilst also being open to other ideas. We are not going to be downtrodden by other means of thinking, and instead, we're just gonna, talk it like it is. A couple of nerds just chilling out up here. Joining me as usual is my trusty sidekick, Haverock.
Hello, I am Iron Man.
I am, I don't know, Doctor Strange, because I have the hair, and it's actually a funny story. I went to a convention and I had one of those old kind of coats that Sherlock had, and I was being shown around a convention space, and one of the doormen would actually say, oh, who's you and Benedict Cumberbatch over here? And they were referring to me, because at the time I was relatively skinny and I had the hair, and I was like, oh okay. I'm not that anymore, but that was just something in relation to it. But the main content of this, instead of talking about my dress sense, is the latest information from the new Dragon Ball movie coming out in 2022. Dragon Ball Super Superhero. We've been talking about this a lot on the main channel, and for good reason. This is very much going to be the follow-up to the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, and would you say that this is divisive?
It is divisive. I like what I saw, at least in terms of, the world development. I understand why people are, not very happy, because largely fan base liked the Shintani style, and after very spectacular, very fluid Shintani style, we are getting something different.
It feels very weird in the sense that normally when a company puts something out and people are up in arms in the fact that they absolutely adore it, and the Broly movie is something absolutely massive, fantastic point in animation and technology, combining the two, fantastic, and it made a lot of money. Now, a normal company would be going okay, we'll just do more of that. Oh, more of the same. And maybe for a TV series, if they ever do one, you just do it on a little bit more of an efficient and cost-effective premise. Here, though, they're changing the art style again. And I'm like, why? I mean, granted, they want to try something new, and props to Toei for doing something relatively, quote-unquote, brave. They're doing something that a lot of people... we actually got a comment from Japan, a super chat, in our live stream, and they mentioned that what Toei are doing is just what the Dragon Quest Dai animation is doing, but on a bigger scale. As in, they use CGI all the time, I think for backgrounds. But now, this is Dragon Ball doing it entirely on a bigger budget. I dropped into Karthu's stream about this, and I wouldn't be surprised if this budget for this movie is about $25 million. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's going to make its money back. It's a Dragon Ball movie, of course it will. But I don't think it's going to be as much of a success as the Broly movie will, based on what we've seen and the audience reaction. It's sort of gone the other way from what I've seen, in that when we found out the Dragon Ball Super Broly name, people were like, oh man, you're relying on Broly again? Oh, I'm not going to watch it. First trailer comes out. Oh my God, I'm going to go and watch it. Now it seems to be the other way around, at least initially. But when I did a couple of polls on said live stream, we got a very stable, relatively stable reaction, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of people were less excited about it, but the amount of people that said, no, they're not going to be excited about it.
It was 3%.
Yeah, it didn't really change that much. I mean, given what it was and how bold and risky this move is, that's not terrible. But again, I still am I'm not sure why they done it other than to flex and go hey folks, look what we can do. And no, this is Frieza. I think we've been here before. Have we been here before?
I have been I have been telling yesterday, like, the best you can say about the CG animation is that it's not overly distracting, and there are, some hand-drawn frames, and there are some moments that look genuinely good, like Pan powering up, for example. That's a really nice visual. But I must give it to the people that are very anti-CG, that, for example, the car scene looks not that great, and like, as you mentioned, the amount of hyping it up they did for, like, something like this is weird, because, like, by no means that it feels groundbreaking, It feels competent. Sorry. It feels competent, but that's the best you can say about it. It's competent.
Yeah, I get it. They're in a tunnel and they're driving in a car. I get it. But they were really they were really praising that scene and the driver. They went on about the driver, and I'm like, you know what? Crazy theory. The driver is Whis. Because I then had a look back through, and the suit and the hair. Aside from the fact I then thought, attention, duelists! My hair is telling you I'm in a Dragon Ball movie. Isn't that weird? Yeah, apart from that, obviously. I'm pretty sure there are some Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge people listening to this podcast. But other than that, I feel this could be Whis in disguise, given the hairstyle.
I have other theory that no doubt we will discuss later, but like again, those characters give some strong vibes of the characters we've seen before. You could say, it's an easy CGI cash grab, but the thing is that that's also not the case, because if you would make a cash grab movie, right? Like, you would put in, like, Broly in a major role. You would put maybe Cooler, maybe Jiren, like all of those bulked up characters, and tell them to punch. And here they were so excited to show us, look, we have a special artwork from Toriyama. Oh, what's it gonna be? Vegeta, Goku, some new form? No, it was Korin, and I absolutely loved it.
But what this movie is telling us is that this isn't going to be your typical punchy movie, and to a lot of you out there, that might put you off. And Hav's just sharing me some images, basically. Okay, there are some. I thought so. I did mention this briefly. There are connections to movie 9 in that, Mr. Cash or something like that. But big businessman kind of guy with a child, wants to give him something. Percy is thinking, Dad, I want to be a superhero like my idol. I want to fight some villains. That's what I believe that Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 are. They're androids, that the Red Ribbon Army or whatever they've call themselves now. I think the Red Ribbon Burgers or something like that now is like a cover. That's how they make their main money with the populace now.
They seem to be combination of Lord Jaguar and Mr. Cash, because and again, like I don't mind it being grounded. Again, this movie gives me vibes of like the most grounded or OG like Dragon Ball adventure since Path to Power, and I don't think this is a bad thing. Again, what I think this movie may be about a little bit. I forgot the name. The Goku Jr. special, a little bit as well.
Hero's Legacy.
Hero's Legacy, yes. Because like if we have Korin, if we have Dende, if we have Piccolo, if you have Krillin, maybe it will also. If we had Red Ribbon Army, maybe it will have Pan kinda retreading the steps of her grandfather. That would be pretty great. To have Goku's journey from original DB kinda passed on to Pan in modernized and more concentrated setting,
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely see that. This is why I like doing the live streams, because we get a lot of user-generated notes and stuff like that. And if you were there and you contributed, thank you so much for those, by the way. There were people saying that this was Pan not only mimicking her relatives, it's also similar to the scene where Videl is first tapping into Ki, like, as in able to use Ki at will. And I gotta say, the attention to detail in this trailer is actually pretty impressive. Like, she looks like a combination of Gohan and Videl in terms of the costume, and the t-shirt is just precious. And the fact that it says "Go to Hiffle," that is just, some people say that's something to do with Sammy Guevara from wrestling or something like that. I don't really follow wrestling, so apologies for my ignorance. But hey, if that is a little call out to Sammy Guevara, fair play to him. We've seen more subtle references to outside properties in other anime series before, so this wouldn't be the first. But yeah,
I think the biggest shock to me was like, when people said, when they included that blink it and you miss it, that little Broly appearance, and we were like, what are those people telling? Where's, oh my gosh, he's here. Oh my gosh, he's in the movie.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I didn't notice it, I will admit, in the first playthrough. That was very, very subtle, and well done for sneaking that in. But I think we'll just be realistic here. I don't think Broly's going to be playing a major role in this movie. No, he's not. He's just there to say, oh, he's still there. He's training now. Hopefully he'll calm down a bit. He might be useful later on or something like that. But it's just showing that he and Goku are training on Beerus's planet. Most likely Vegeta is somewhere else, on another planet somewhere, training on his own because he likes doing that, finding his own way with power. So we'll see that. But it's just a case of trying to calm down Broly so he can use his energy. And it'll been a couple of years since the Broly movie now. I think at least 2 to 3 years. So this is just showing us, oh, that offer of training that Goku gave to Broly, that actually led somewhere. It was going somewhere. It wasn't just a passive invitation. This was actually followed up on. And now we're actually getting to see what he can do.
Yeah, maybe Broly will become the proper candidate for the next GOD. Do you know?
Oh, wow. It's a fair point. It's completely wild speculation. We have no idea about this. But if you think about it, Broly seems quite mellow. He's incredibly powerful. He doesn't have any familial connections anymore.
Yeah, Whis had fun with him.
Yeah, Whis did, absolutely. And I think Whis would enjoy it and find him quite endearing. I think he'd be a very naive god of destruction. But I think if he was keen to learn, I think he could be fair. But I hadn't actually thought about that, to be fair. But again, this is just wild nonsense. But it's funny nonsense to think about in some way.
I think, and what I do expect from this movie, again, I wrote it on my Twitter yesterday, that it's probably status quo change the movie. It's like, oh, you want to see what's up with this character? Oh, they are now doing that. They are now doing that. This is the vibe that I really like. To get to see all those characters like Dende, like Broly, like Pan, like Piccolo, and see what they are up to. Like instead of just another big bad, another more of the same. This, in terms of a story, even if it's retreading funnily enough, by retreading some old tropes, this might be the freshest outlook on the characters, due to the fact that we already see that it's not afraid to change to change designs of some of the characters. Like they said, always with a new movie, we have a new design for characters. No, you don't. Like, okay, you gave Goku and Vegeta a jacket in the last one, but you didn't really give anyone a particularly new design. Maybe Bulma.
Well, no, with Goten and Trunks, you made somehow them look even younger. Like, I don't know how you did that, but
right now I finally feel the time skip from what I've seen,
Yeah, and I was actually talking to Kaiser Neko about this, and what would be really funny is that you think that Goten and Trunks aren't in the movie, but they're in the post-credit scene for 10 seconds, like, hey guys, we just came in. Where'd everybody go? And then Vegeta's there. Oh, they were just fighting there with a couple of new androids. As Kakarot once said, oh, go for 10. And Trunks like, I don't get it. All right, future boy. That's that thing. Yeah, like now that's 10 androids because, again, I feel like maybe now, based on what they look like, they could be robots that the Red Ribbon Army undercover made to take out the world's greatest villains or something like that. Yeah, that's the way they perceived it to the young boy who loves superheroes. So, yeah, it could be that. And I imagine probably because Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, they're off planet, they're busy doing something else. Piccolo and Gohan are probably the two strongest people left on the planet at the moment. And this is Pan training, maybe for the 28th tournament. That would be kind of neat, because based on the questions that we got from the panel, they were talking about when this is taking place, whether it's after the Granola arc, and apparently it is after the Granola arc, but before the 28th tournament. So this could be Pan training for it.
I saw, it's good that you speak about it right now, because I saw a really cool theory that 28th tournament will be reanimated and will be used as the credits scene, like the credits sequence, and that would be super cool.
Oh, wow. And yeah, the fact that Goku's still wearing his orange gi, that's already made people think, well, that's something that needs to be noted. Oh, I guess End of Z is not canon anymore. But some people I thought that too. But some people are saying, oh, he might get the blue gi at the end of the movie or something like that. Maybe. Maybe this is something to do with Whis' training. Like he said, oh, I'll just give you this brand new costume or something like that. Yeah, or maybe Roshi says, I think it's time you hang that up or something like that. But mind you, we've seen all these classic DB redesigns. I've not seen a Roshi one. So odds are he probably isn't in the movie. And I think probably he's not going to be in any Dragon Ball content for a long time. Or maybe ever anymore. Yeah, because, I mean, after what's happened in Argentina, where they banned Dragon Ball Super because of Roshi, I don't think Toei's going to be really enthusiastic of including him anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least, limiting what he does, because they want them international syndication dollars. And I know that some people have actually criticized me for saying, oh, why should Toei, a Japanese company, pander to other audiences? That's fair. First and foremost, it's a Japanese animation for a Japanese audience, and it just so happens to be popular overseas. That is very true. But I feel it's a very shrewd business decision to cater to outside and different countries. Latin and South America, it has a huge following. Don't nettle those localizations, people. Otherwise, Latin America and South America, they ain't gonna get it. That more countries will ban it.
Certain jokes haven't aged up too well.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that the Olympics taught us is that if you've got international scrutiny on you, what normally is sort of looked the other way in Japan doesn't float anymore. Like, that's what the Tokyo Olympics kind of taught us, that some of the points of view just do not work for international audiences, and you gotta sort of adapt. So maybe Dragon Ball needs to adapt, but hey, I'm not the person in charge of it, so Toei, they can do what they want. They can do with Toriyama, Shueisha, they can do what they please. It's their property. Yeah, but I suppose the only thing that really concerns me, and this was mentioned during the panel, is that they haven't locked down release dates yet overseas. They said in Japan, it's going to be 2022. When in that year, we don't know. They're not now saying 2022 worldwide. They're not saying that anymore. Now they're saying, oh, it depends on different countries. And that's a little concerning. You think that they would go for a worldwide simultaneous release.
Especially for us in Europe, right? And other folks, like in South America, In Africa, we had some people from South Africa, so there is a worldwide interest. Like I like to remind you guys that we didn't got a Broly release in my country.
Yeah, no.
Despite Dragon Ball being pretty popular here.
Yeah, exactly. Have came over to watch the movie with me in the UK.
Yeah, we have to watch it twice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We set up a new tradition of actually then we'll watch the Resurrection F movie every time a new movie comes out and see how aged it looks. Hey, maybe next time we do it, we'll do a watch along live stream or something like that. Because it is on Netflix and stuff like that. It's easily available. That actually makes me feel a little bit worried that we might see some territories not getting this movie until 2023. And by that time, it's going to be pirated. You know it's going to be. People are going to stream that stuff. Yeah, they're going to find it elsewhere. And by that time, that's just going to diminish box office returns, because by the time you get to 2022, theaters will be back up open again and they will be packed. Of course, that's the best time to do it. And it's good to know that the movie is mostly completed based on what they said, that they're not having to rush it. And they're just showing the bits that they've made and it's finished, or at least, it's presentable. It could easily change. They could easily tweak stuff. At the very least 3 months to go. They can still, we saw what happened with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They were able to recreate an entire character in maybe 7 months. They managed to do that. And Toei, being the powerhouse that they are, they could make a lot of things improve based on feedback. This was probably very important for Toei as it was for us to understand what we're going to get. As in, this is going to be, okay, the audiences aren't really that much of a fan of it. Maybe we should improve that. But it could easily not happen and they'll just ignore us and just do what they want. That could easily happen as well.
They were very dodgy about answering those questions. Very
dodgy. Yeah, they were. They definitely were.
Oh, I see you like I see you like the manga. Oh, yeah, that wasn't the question. I love how the host, Justin, right? How he was, a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a very satisfying answer. They didn't cut on the sarcasm of the answer.
Yeah, they were good questions. There were only 4 questions given by the audience, but they were good questions. And Akio Iyoku, because Iyoku is pretty much Toriyama's right-hand man. Toriyama doesn't go anywhere. He sends Iyoku instead, because he's from Shueisha. He is the guy who is the second in command when it comes to Toriyama and Bird Studio. So he's the guy that Toriyama sends to go and do things for him. So that's the best type of authority you're going to get from Toriyama directly, outside of him putting out a press release himself. They were very good at skirting around certain things. And one thing, that one question was about Piccolo's mailbox. That was pretty funny.
If they had smart marketing, they would set up an email box and allow fans from around the world to send email and make somebody answer them in the name of Piccolo.
Oh, that would be funny.
That would be funny. That would be a great promotion for the movie, but I don't think they would do that. I would do that if I saw such an interest in that particular aspect.
Heck, we should just do it ourselves. It's just
Piccolo's mailbox.
We'll just say Piccolo's mailbox. We'll set up a Gmail account and just have Piccolo's mailbox, and I'll just do my Piccolo voice. Dear such and such. Okay. I just do my Piccolo equivalence voice or something like that. Maybe that could be funny. We're going round and round in circles here about this, but it's important to understand that there are some things that did leave me concerned, and I hope that this turns out to be a good movie. I'm nowhere near as sold as I was on the Broly movie, I will say, but I do praise the fact they're making a bold decision of doing something that is a little bit more slice of life than your typical Dragon Ball movie. So kudos to them about that. But I know that this is going to be to the hardcore Dragon Ball Z fans. People are saying, I'm not going to watch this. This is trash. Oh, it's garbage. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, it's going to get that reaction from a lot of hardcore Z fans. And that I get it. It's not something that is typical Dragon Ball Z, what the majority of us grew up with. I get it. Totally understandable. And that's fine. You don't have to go and see it. Yeah, if you don't want to go and see it, you don't have to go and see it. That's clear as day. You can stream it. Stream it at no extra cost. Yeah, via Netflix, stuff like that. But that's just going to say the people that are going to go, they're just going to enjoy it, or they want to go and see it for themselves and they don't believe trailers should be the be all and end all about it. I'm definitely going to go and see it because not only am I going to go and see a Dragon Ball movie in the cinema, which is something I really want to do, but I'm also going to meet people and talk about the movie with other people. And that's the best thing about it. We can share our feedback right afterwards. So that's a bad thing. How? You know, you can have some fun. Going to the cinema should be an occasion. And going to the cinema for a Dragon Ball movie, even with Resurrection F up in London, that was fun to talk to people and see it and the audience reaction. I mean, I'll never forget with the Broly movie when in the UK, when Vegeta went Super Saiyan God and people were cheering, like, woo! And then one person went like, yeah, boy! But yeah, sure enough, he did get pounded on by Broly. That did happen.
On the other hand, like, it's hard not to be excited about it, mostly due to the fact that, like, we have been preaching for them to, do something with Piccolo, do something with those side characters, and we are finally getting that. Like, somebody decided, hey, we have a vast world of cool characters that we introduced back in DB or were minor characters in Z. Let's see what they are up to,
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, too long. I think what they're doing with this movie is that they've heard feedback and they want to give the fans the answer to, oh, what are the side characters up to? Let's make them relevant. Okay. Let's just give them a story where the main fighters, Goku, Vegeta, Broly, they're off doing something else. They're off doing another thing or training or whatever. And in the meantime, you get Piccolo and Gohan holding the fort with Krillin in there as well, because we did get Krillin character designs a few months ago at San Diego Comic-Con. So we did get that. We're getting Korin in there and Dende. We'll probably get a Yajirobe as well, because, where Korin goes now, Yajirobe is not too far behind. So we may get a redesign from him, which would be neat. Bulma's probably wished on the Dragon Balls again to be young, because there's been another time skip and she looks exactly the same as she does in the Broly movie and Super. So yeah, despite the fact that Goku called her out on it, she's still doing it. Of course she's gonna still do it.
I mean, maybe her hair has different color, but we know, the hair, like the subtle hair color changes. Like her hair is a little bit grayer if you.
Yeah, but not by much. But yeah, there are a lot of things to be excited about for different reasons. Of course, there's going to be some good battles and stuff like that, and the CGI is not going to be 100%. There are going to be 2D drawn stuff like that, maybe for like smoke and ki and energy and sparks. Probably that's going to be all drawn. And there'll be elements to enhance the base material, like we got for the Broly movie. We saw some 3D elements coupled with 2D animation, like 2D ki and stuff like that and energy. It looked good. It managed to mask some of the CGI stuff. So maybe this is just what they're doing on a bigger scale. Just, it's mostly 3D with 2D elements. And I'll be okay with that. I'm going to still go and see it because, hey, I like going to the cinema anyway, and it's a Dragon Ball movie. I've gone and seen worse movies and paid full price for it. I went to go and see Evolution and I paid full price for it. That is my sin for the community. That means I have to go and see every Dragon Ball movie after that. I cannot call myself a Dragon Ball fan if I paid full price to go and see Evolution and I do not go and see another Dragon Ball movie after that.
Yeah. I still wonder what's the deal with the Gamma brothers. Are they some sort of, bounty hunters, asset acquirers, like some sort of troopers? Because even if they ask if they're good, if they bad, like I feel they are neutral. Haha, get it because they're grey.
Well, actually, now that I've seen some things of Gamma 2 going after Piccolo, and no, Piccolo wouldn't have been hurt by that. It would have probably been like, well, excuse me, I'm meditating here. Are you really going to do this? That they are maybe creations of the Red Ribbon Army, because they do have the Red Ribbon Army insignia on it, and I didn't pick that up initially. So props to people that, showed that to me. Thank you. That could be easily the thing, that they're robots, that they're androids that the Red Ribbon Army created, as you say, asset acquirers. As in, they're there to, because the stuff you see on the machine, those are old pictures of characters, and then they're made to look evil. There's Boo. but with the blue tongue, which means that the colors are a bit more accurate to the manga. All the colorations of the characters are more relevant to the manga,
especially
like
with
Piccolo's muscles and stuff like they're more relevant to the manga. So maybe this is what they're doing with the style. They're trying to make it more accurate to Toriyama's current style and the manga. So that could be interesting. And I will say, some of the 3D shots do look a little janky, but some of the shots that are really good, and if you show them as a still, they look convincing in stills. They do. And the fact that they're 3D models means you have consistency. So there is some credit where credit's due here, but it's not fully there. But hopefully in the time they have left, they can help tweak it up a little bit and try and make things a little smoother. And the main problem is that if you're doing CGI and you're trying to make it look like it's hand-drawn by doing it 24 frames a second, it doesn't always work. But they can't do it any faster than that because otherwise it won't look like an anime. So it's a bit of a tightrope that Toei are walking on right now, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff about this movie, but again, enough to make me cautiously excited, What if, I was thinking, what if gammas were created from a sample of 7.3?
Oh, that's a fair point. That's a crazy theory, but it's a theory that, yeah.
Also, I love how the names were, in our face the whole time, like the number and gamma symbol.
Oh, and the symbol. It's the gamma symbol.
Yeah.
On their belt. Oh, as soon as I found out what that was, it was like, oh man, it was right there. Some people were thinking that was just an allusion to Waluigi. I mean, It's a little bit of a stretch, but okay. If they were called Wa 1 and Wa 2.
What was that? Yeah.
Oh man, that'd been funny, but no.
Yeah, I wonder if they are supposed to be in relation to gamma rays because they use ray guns and stuff like that.
Maybe, could be, but it's usually quite technical or something like that. But yeah, these are our thoughts on Dragon Ball Super Superheroes teaser trailer. Overall, we're cautious, but we're hopeful in the fact that it's going to be a slice of life movie, and that appeals to us. And I know that I went on a lot about Pan in some of my other videos about this topic, but it was cute. It was really fun to see, and I don't think there's any more I can say about it here, but yeah, I'm excited to see that, and who knows, maybe we might see at the end, we might see a little Easter egg of her going Super Saiyan, or something like that. Something that people have been wanting for so long. I'm still going to see it. I want to see more, but I know that I have some reservations about it. And I hope that the release is as close and just as good as it was for the Broly movie, if not better. If not, that's a problem. And hopefully that turns out not to be the case. But all that remains to be said now is thank you, Hav, for your time.
Thank you, always a pleasure.
And thank you all out there for listening. And if you'd like to have any topic suggestions, do leave them in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. And we shall see you again very soon for another edition of Up on the Lookout. But until next time, everybody, do stay safe out there, and I hope you're well. Ta-da!
Bye!